Tensions simmering between Russia and NATO, with Moscow launching military maneuvers in response to the Western Alliance's war games currently underway near Russia's borders. Now, according to the Defense Ministry, the military drills involve the Baltic Sea Fleet, the Air Force, and paratroopers in Kaliningrad. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has warned that any eastward expansion or build-up by NATO near its borders will be counterproductive. The warning comes as nearly 5,000 troops and 800 military vehicles from 10 NATO member states are participating in the exercises near the Latvian capital, Riga. Meanwhile, the U.S. has offered increased military support to NATO members in Eastern Europe.
The Ukrainian Air Force continues airstrikes on flashpoint cities in Donetsk region. Kiev says it is targeting positions of gunmen who are backed by Russia. However, many civilians have been caught up in the ongoing attacks, with more than 20 deaths since mid-April. But Kiev is continuing its military operations a day after Ukraine's new president Petro Poroshenko called for an end to the fighting within a week. And the residents of the eastern regions are outraged by Kiev's military assault. War-weary people say the new president has blood on his hands.
We aren't terrorists, we are Slavyansk residents. They said there are terrorists here. What terrorists? Look, we the terrorists are standing here. Poroshenko has our blood on his hands.
Western countries are also adding insult to injury. NATO has launched war games near Russia's border. Nearly 5,000 troops and 800 military vehicles from 10 countries of the Western Military Alliance, including the United States, Britain and Canada, are participating in the Saber Strike exercises near the Latvian capital Riga. The Pentagon has deployed 2 nuclear-capable B-2 stealth bombers to a British airbase to join the maneuver later. Overseas deployments of the B-2 are rare because there are only 20 B-2s in the world. The exercises will continue until June 20th. Denmark, Finland and Poland are some of the other NATO members involved. Russia has objected to the drills, which moved to neighboring Lithuania on Tuesday, calling the move an act of aggression. The Russian foreign minister criticized the Western military bloc's expansion toward the Russian border. He said such moves are, quote, counterproductive. Lavrov also accused the European Union of putting pressure on Bulgaria to suspend work on a key Kremlin-backed gas pipeline. He said Bulgaria's move suggests the bloc is seeking revenge over the Ukraine crisis. Russia's envoy to the EU also criticized the suspension of the construction of the South Stream gas pipeline. Despite all these provocations and warnings, Moscow and Kiev have begun talks to end the crisis and have held a meeting in Brussels. But the bloodshed continues.
That would assume that both sides want a political resolution of the crisis, and that's transparently not the case. The U.S. and its NATO allies and its billionaire oligarch client or puppet, Petro Poroshenko in Kiev, have no desire whatsoever to resolve this amicably. Quite the opposite. Mr. Poroshenko is conducting, I believe it's day 55 of a military onslaught against his own citizens.